It was a sweltering July morning in Lexington, Kentucky, 2024, when I heard a splash and a scream that could have woken the dead. There, in my private pond, an HOA board member thrashed like he was battling a kraken, his loafers bobbing, his toupee flapping like a drowned rat. Beyond him, my stallion Titan snorted triumphantly, charging out of the water like a knight storming a castle. On the shore, drenched in lemonade and pond muck, stood Linda, the HOA's self-appointed overlord, clutching her sodden clipboard as if it could save her. The moment, caught on camera, became the stuff of legenda glorious, chaotic revenge that would gallop into HOA infamy. It all began 3 days earlier with a notice zip-tied to my fence, declaring my pond a community feature. I should have known it was a declaration of war. Drop your wildest HOA stories in the comments and tell me where you're reading from. This tale of hooves, hubris, and justice will leave you speechless. I'd just returned to my 5-acre ranch on the outskirts of Lexington after a week-long seminar in Wyoming, training mounted patrol horses. My assistant, Nate, had kept the place running smoothly, but no one could have prepared for Linda's madness. Linda, the HOA's vice president, wielded her title like a scepter, despite no one recalling her election. Her charm was as grating as a car alarm, her authority as flimsy as wet tissue, yet she ruled the neighboring HOA community like a petty dictator. My ranch, just outside their gated enclave, had always been my sanctuary free from their rules, my pond a jewel nestled among rolling fields. It wasn't just a water feature. It was where I trained my patrol stallions, 1,200-pound beasts bred for strength, not petting zoos. But when I got home, I found my pond transformed. Tiki torches, bunting, and a sign proclaiming Summer Oasis Festival, hosted by HOA. The audacity hit like a hoof to the chest. A laminated notice on my fence, signed by Linda and 3 unknown board members, declared my pond a shared community feature for beautification and recreation. My land wasn't under HOA jurisdiction, it was private, deeded, untouchable. I marched to their office, a tacky strip mall setup, and slammed the notice on the counter. Linda, sipping from a flamingo-shaped tumbler, smirked. The pond's visible from the public trail, so it's a community asset now. I asked if she had permission to trespass. She cited a beautification clause granting reasonable access to visual features. I flashed my deed and fence permits. She doubled down, claiming public view easement justified their takeover. When I mentioned my stallions used the pond for training, she suggested featuring them at the festival for charm. I asked if she had insurance for trampling. She waved me off. That night, pacing my porch under a starlit sky, I considered legal action, but my lawyer confirmed Linda's sneaky bylaw amendment passed at an unpublicized meeting required weeks to contest. The festival was in 3 days. Then I noticed the pasture gate ajar, its wire cut clean. Not an accident sabotage. Linda likely thought freeing my horses would add rustic flair. I fixed the fence, installed motion sensor cameras, and hatched a plan. If Linda wanted my pond, she'd get the full experience, stallions included. As HOA volunteers set up tents and a DJ booth, I stayed silent, watching them ignore my private property sign. They thought my quiet meant defeat. They were wrong. Festival day dawned sticky and smug. From my porch, I watched volunteers swarm my pond, erecting a wobbly dock and a lemonade stand. Linda, in a coral blazer and floppy hat, strutted like she owned the deed. Guests arrived, neighbors, outsiders, even ticket buyers from nearby towns, lured by Linda's cultural fundraiser. Talk of kayak races and lakeside yoga floated over my fence. My phone buzzed with Nate's text, "Titans raring to go." I grinned, sipping coffee, waiting for Linda to overplay her hand. She did. A nervous kid in an HOA vest approached my gate, clutching a clipboard. "We need access for paddleboard gear and a stage." I leaned on the post. "Gate stays shut. This is my land." He stammered. "Linda said you're the groundskeeper." "Groundskeeper?" I laughed. "I'm the owner. That pond's mine, sure to muck." He retreated, wide-eyed. Minutes later, Linda stormed over. "Jack, this pond's a community gem now. Don't disappoint families over your petty boundaries." I held her gaze. "It's called a property line, Linda. It's law." She scoffed, radioing orders to back a catering van near my pasture gate. A DJ's bass thumped, spooking Titan. I checked on the horses. They pawed restlessly. It was time. Linda took the mic, preaching about shared nature and calling my pond our oasis. As she declared it, the heart of our community, I pressed the gate's remote trigger. It creaked open. Titan charged, hooves thundering, followed by 4 stallions, a tidal wave of muscle. They hit the pond like a storm, water exploding. Guests screamed, ducks fled, lily pads flew. The dock buckled under Titan's weight. A yoga mat sailed skyward. Lemonade barrels toppled, soaking Linda. Her mic shorted, her hat sank. Atlas, another stallion, splashed through the shallows, toppling the DJ booth speakers into a distorted wail. The crowd scattered, slipping in mud, abandoning picnic blankets. Linda stood, drenched, clipboard useless, shrieking, "Contain those beasts." A kid laughed. "This beats my Xbox." Cameras rolled. A guest live stream, HOA steals pond, horses fight back, went viral. Another clip, Linda versus Stallions, showed her slipping into a puddle, captioned "Splash of Justice." I walked to the pond, whistling. The horses calmed, following me to the pasture. In 10 minutes, I restored order Linda's megaphone couldn't. The festival was erect. Tents collapsed, bunting floating, guests demanding refunds. Linda marched to me, sopping, accusing me of sabotage. "Those are trained patrol horses on my land," I said coolly. "You trespassed and sold tickets on private property. That's your liability." Her face paled. She sputtered about lawyers, but the crowd's glare silenced her. By evening, the video hit 1 million views. Memes exploded. Linda's scream over a horse silhouette, tagged "Pondpocalypse." My cousin texted, "You're a legend." The HOA's insurance, void for non-HOA land, left them liable for damages. The treasurer quit, emailing, "Linda dragged us into this." The president, Harold, called an emergency meeting, agenda listing disciplinary action against me. I attended, armed with drone footage of the trespass, my deed, and Linda's voicemail. "It'll be over before you notice, Jack." I presented my case. No HOA jurisdiction, illegal trespass, commercial misuse of my land. Harold, shaken, proposed suspending Linda's role. She stormed out, toppling a chair. No vote was needed. Her reign was over. The pond returned to peace, ducks gliding, Titan grazing. Neighbors brought casseroles, thanking me. A blogger's interview framed me as a defender of property rights. The HOA rewrote bylaws, erasing Linda's aesthetic assets clause and affirming my land's independence, dubbed the Titan Clause. Linda vanished. Rumors said Florida or a lawsuit against meme makers. A month later, an unsigned note appeared in my fence. "You won." I'll never forget. Linda's handwriting. I pocketed it, telling no one. The pond, now a symbol of resistance, stood serene, Titan its guardian. Was Linda a misguided busybody or a power-mad villain? Should I have sued instead of unleashing the horses? Could the HOA have stopped her sooner? Was her note remorse or defiance? Share your thoughts below, and if you love this tale of hooves and hubris, like and subscribe for more. I've got stories,